welcome everybody to World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name is Maxwell, and today's first replay is from the user Audley Brax. That is, I think that's how it's pronounced, Aldi, might be Aldi actually. Aldi Brax, and he's driving the T32 on a standard battle on the Tundra. T32 is a Tier 8 heavy tank for the Americans. It's a bit of a terrible stock grind, the T32 actually. When you first buy it, it's very, very, very lackluster to say the least. Its gun is pretty terrible, its turret armor pretty terrible, its speed pretty terrible. This thing will just make you want to cry into your cereal until it just goes away. So you can see straight away, Aldi's going to be heading over to the right-hand side, but finds a KV3 here, so a couple of guys stop to have a few shots at him. I think he probably hit him in the fog of war, but it looks like 2 of the last 3 shots have gone astray, not being able to land any damage on that KV3, and that KV3 is thought better of his choice of direction, and is now backed off behind some rocks. Aldi going to continue pushing all the way to this right-hand side here. You can see he's going to have to square off against a Conqueror and a T71. He's got 2 medium tanks for backup there. But I think he realises that this is just going to be one big, long, protracted battle. And it's not really something that he's going to want to get embroiled in right now. Sees that forces on the hill are a little bit stacked in their favour, but the enemy team has a lot of tanks in and around their cap circle at the moment, not really wanting to push out, so I think he's seeing an opportunity here to maybe attack against those tanks. This one is a little bit slow to get started, so I'm just going to speed this up until we get into the action. You can see having another shot at the KV3 there. Unfortunately, even with a premium round, that one did bounce. Now he's going to use this opportunity to push on forwards. Like I said, I think he had a quick look at the minimap and spotted an opportunity here that he would be able to sneak down into this river area and maybe make something happen from here. There is still that Tiger 2 pushing all the way around the hill. He's only got 1 shot from death, so if Aldi can land a shot on him, which he does indeed, he can take him out quickly. And that is the threat of that Tiger 2 eliminated now. That Tiger 2 was really causing a scene for the Allied team there. Going to be lending a hand now in the centre. I think he's probably just got a bit of a vendetta against this KV3. Wasn't able to hurt him early on, so he's going to try and hunt him down now. Allies on the hill have all but got that secured. Not really able to land much on this KV3. There we go. Finally, his side armour is presented just as he drops into the fog of war, so until he reappears again, we're not going to know if that did any damage. KV3 activating its Soviet cloaking device there and just disappears from view. Does get spotted out now by somebody, probably from that KV3. Looks like he did land that shot as he only has 149 hit points left. Now Aldi's going to use this opportunity of the KV3 moving forwards to head up into towards the cap circle of the enemy team along this unguarded road here. And this is going to allow him to have shots on the rear of all the guys on the hill now. Got to choose his target wisely. Decides to shoot for the Tortoise, which is an excellent choice, as that thing head on is going to be really, really tough. Just having a quick look around to see if he's under threat from anybody. Not really having to worry about that, so switches his gun back via the long route to the hill. He's got to wait for that reticule to catch up. Has a shot at the Tiger 1. Takes a hit in the front from the AMX 1390, so decides to drop back, but the AMX 1390 decides to do exactly the same thing. Takes a hit from the Tiger 1, fires one in return, and then starts to drop back again. AMX 1390 uses this opportunity to come forward. Has one good shot, and then drops back again. Aldi not able to load in time. Looks like his spotting was able to get the M12 destroyed, though, which is always nice. Gets another good hit on the Tiger 1 then. The Tiger 1 misses his shot. Finds the back chat with all the 5s. The artillery there. Can only see the very top of him here, but it's always worth a shot when it's artillery. Probably landed that shot, but again, we're not going to know until we have a look at the score screens at the end. Does take a hit from the Centurion 1, and the reload on this gun is a little bit slow. With the broken optics, not able to see where the Centurion 1 is, but the sneaky AMX 1390 has flanked all the way around the back, but it looks like Aldi was waiting for that, spotted him coming in at the last minute. It looks like the AMX 1390 has turned to maybe make a move and go somewhere else, but that's probably going to prove to be his undoing. As Aldi repairs his track, reverses down, and is able to take him out no problem whatsoever. Can he get a shot on the side of this Jagdpanther? He can't just yet, as the Jagdpanther disappears from view behind the rocks. Now he's going to take back to the road. Allies have definitely won the fight on the far right-hand side on that hill, but they've drastically lost the battle on the left-hand side. T71 going full ham here, just decides to go in for the T32, but Aldi does the smart thing here of turning his turret all the way to the back so the T71 can't fire at anything but the turret. Well, he could have just driven forwards and then he would have been able to hit the T32, and then a wild Jagdpanther appears from nowhere and Aldi's going to have to try and get a hit on him. If he can pull alongside him like this and stay there, he's going to be in a good position. As it is, he's going to have to try and turret hook him. And there we go, another shot turned aside by the mighty, mighty turret of the T32. Jagdpanther taking fire here. He's going to try and reverse to get a shot somewhere else, but again, just plants that one into the turret and it doesn't do any damage whatsoever. One more good hit will be all he needs. There we go, that's kill number 4. Now he's going to have to switch his attention to that right-hand side again. Allied team did handily win that battle, but it looks like now the enemy tanks from that far left-hand flank have swooped around and have now cleared up the allies that were in the area. Aldi's going to be dropping back towards his own base. T32, not the speediest tank in the world, so we're just going to speed this one up a little bit. Just having a look to see if he can find anybody. Nobody really in the area. Looks like most of the tanks have taken to the hill. Maybe going to try to take a perch up here to get a shot on the hill, but as you can see, the changes to this map mean that you can no longer get a shot from that place, apart from in the one area where there is a dead tank occupying the spot. So Aldi going to head across to the hill now. Going to climb the hill. See if he can get a shot on anybody. There's the Conqueror and the T32. Almost certainly the T34 will be with them, so it looks like they've flanked all the way around. Possibly going for a base capture, or may just come back down the river and attempt to try and get him, as he is the only tank left. Looks like they're going for the safe option here, going for the base capture. Aldi going to overlook the area. He's got the rear armor of a T34, and that is some excellent, excellent luck here. One more shot will be enough to take him out, although the T34 is aiming his shot in. For some reason, he moved just before taking his shot. Did land one flush on the front of the T32 there. Fluffs his second shot, and Aldi's got all the time in the world to aim that one up. Lands the shot, and he's able to take him out. Still got to worry, though, because there's only 20 seconds left on the cap clock. Just rocking forwards and backwards in an effort to try and throw off the T32. That one did land in the fog of war. We saw the base capture counter be reset there. Now he's got this Conqueror to contend with. Wasn't able to penetrate the armor, and this one's going to be real close. He's got a few seconds left on his reload, but there's only 10 seconds left on the capture clock. The Conqueror tries to back off into cover, but he takes a hit. For some reason, this T32, the enemy one, is still hanging out in the open. Really should just be behind that rock, trying to guarantee the base capture. As it is, he takes a shot in the face and gets reset. Probably thinking, well, the enemy T32's only got 111 hit points. I can probably take him out and pick up the kill. But as it is, all that he's managed to do is get himself reset twice. And that is terrible, terrible play by the enemy T32 there. Should have really put himself into cover. As it was, he left himself hanging out in the open and got reset twice. Only 25 seconds left on the clock now. Aldi's trying to get a shot on this Conqueror. If he can reset the Conqueror, he may be able to close the distance between himself and the T32. As it is, there's the Conqueror there. Not really sure what he's doing. He was just sitting out in the open with his gun pointed down. Maybe he just decided to AFK, and now this T32 is going to be fearing for his life. Wow, what a shot! Gets hit by the enemy T32. I think he'd probably switch to high explosive ammunition, thinking that 111 hit points was enough to take out, but looks like all he managed to do was take out the track and do about 30 points worth of damage. Aldi Brax was able to repair his track in time, and now he's going to have to try and close down the distance between himself and this other T32. Both of them just a one shot. as long as they're using AP ammunition, that is. So it's really going to be a case of fastest fingers first. Whoever's well, Aldi knows exactly where the enemy T32 is, so he comes around the corner. He hasn't got the turret traversed, and Aldi's able to take him out. Pick up kill number 7, 5,000 points of damage, probably a bit more because he landed some shots in the fog of war there. And picking up the victory for his team, alone against 3 heavy tanks at the end there, working his magic to reset them long enough to be able to close the distance, get in there, and pick up the win. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around because there's another game coming right up. And our second replay is from the user Immortality Prince. That is Immortality Prince, and he is driving the AMX AC-48 on a standard battle on Westfield. The AC-48 is a Tier 8 tank destroyer for the French. So just like the first replay, this one is going to be more about the positioning and the map awareness and seizing opportunities when you see them. Just like the T32 sees their opportunity to get into the river and up that little road. Immortality Prince is also going to go ahead and seize some opportunities and wreak havoc on the enemy team. So straight away going to be heading forwards instead of backwards to the hill. You can see most of the tank destroyers arrayed themselves across the back there. Quite a lot of tank destroyers on the allied team, so they're going to have to play this one carefully. If they play the aggressors, this one might not go very well, as they're not going to have the support of the guns from all of the tank destroyers behind them. But if the enemy team decides to push over, then this is going to be an absolute meat grinder. VK3601 gets himself eliminated very, very early on. Too far forward and too high up, gets himself taken apart. Immortality Prince sees that there's nobody else in the north of the map. There's an AT-7 making a move to this area. But Immortality Prince is going to try and fill the hole with his AC-48. As you can see, there was a KV-1S in the trees in the background there, but he got himself taken out. But they've got to be careful that there isn't somebody camped way in the back there, ready to pop one into your face as soon as you come over the top. And there we go. You can see him reversing and trying to position himself to get a shot on this T-150. Gets a great hit through the side of the turret of the T-150 there. And as you can see, maneuvering with a tank destroyer, a fixed body tank destroyer, is a lot different to maneuvering with a tank. You can see the maneuvers that Immortality Prince had to make there just to get a shot on the side of the T-50. And you can see the ATs filling the hole there. Immortality Prince spots a T28 prototype in the back. T28 prototype has just fired, so should be able to get a shot through his armor. He does indeed. It's a nice roll as well. In fact, what is the alpha damage of this gun? Average damage is 400, so that wasn't too high. Just his earlier shot was fairly low. Going to see if he can get a second shot on this T28 prototype, but it looks like he sees which way the wind is blowing and decides to drop back. Going to see if he maybe makes a move forward again, and if he does, Immortality Prince should be able to land a good hit onto him. He's playing it a little bit carefully here. Although the enemy team doesn't have very many tank destroyers, they do have quite a lot of heavy tanks. And there we go. T28 prototype has his shot and bounces. Immortality Prince doesn't bounce and is able to get another almost 450 points of damage on this T28. Now is going to be Immortality Prince. Sees his opportunity, rushes forward, takes out the T29, which is a fantastic maneuver there. T150 gets himself taken out, and Immortality Prince doesn't pause. Sees that the battle isn't going particularly well on the right-hand side of this elevated hill, so they're going to have to push heavily on the left-hand side and try and carousel around the enemy team. Didn't quite put a shot through the T28 prototype's turret there, not surprisingly. And he decides to drop back. He's going to try and save his own skin. Although it looks like Immortality Prince is able to take him out. Picks up kill number 2. Only takes tracking damage in return. So that is an excellent stroke of luck from him. And as you can see, with that little attacking maneuver and the rest of the team coming with him, they are now in a fantastic position to start pressing down on the enemy team. They are winning 6 kills to 5. Enemy team does have decent positioning, but as you can see, the allied team is now moving around them, closing them in and keeping them hemmed in the little village. He's able to get a lovely shot onto that KV-4 there. Now he's just looking to try and get a second shot to take him out. KV-4's gun, not the best in the world. So he just bounces and then he gets taken out. Still got quite a lot of tanks in this village now. But the Allied team doing a fantastic job of keeping them penned in. They've got people on all sides now. Got people still on the original spawn area, people in the north and people all the way to the other side. Immortality Prince decides to make a move because the guys on the right-hand side there, to his right-hand side, have started to fall. Tiger 2 gets himself taken out. And the Hellcat gets himself taken out. And the enemy team's actually pulled this one back now to 7 kills to 8. The Allies going to have to play this one carefully. They are losing numerically in kills, but they do have the positioning. Like I said, they've still got the enemy team penned in the little village. T69 is wreaking havoc in the south there. STA1 has dropped back to try and take him on, losing 7 kills to 9 at the moment. Like I said, though, they do have them penned in the little village, and they should hopefully be able to close in on them and just pick them apart at their leisure just now. Sees the IS. He's making a move towards the AT-15. Immortality Prince should be able to come in. Rescues his friend at the AT-15. Picks up kill number 4. And that T-69 has now climbed the hill. And he is trying to break out of one of the flanks to allow his allies a little bit of breathing space. Immortality Prince going to be linking up with this AT-15 in an effort to try and get some damage on this SU-100. Doesn't want to move too far forwards, though, as there is that T-69 and the KV-5 still lurking. Both of those can be dangerous tanks. SU-100 makes a big mistake there and backs off. He gets himself taken out. KV-5's lost a lot of hit points. And it's going to be a case of just trying to press him down and eliminate him. Trying to focus in on his weak spot. Gets a beautiful shot on the move on his weak spot. T-69 has managed to flank around the side of the AT-15 now, and he's able to take him out. Immortality Prince going to be trying to close him down. He does still have 1,000 hit points, though. Looks like he is reloading. Immortality Prince rushed that one just a little bit, and unfortunately missed. T-69 is going to come charging round regardless. Looks like he does have the traverse. I'm not sure why the T-69 continued to run. Should have just stayed behind the red building there, the red brick building, rather than pushing around this building, and he would have had 423 more hit points at this point. Not going to be able to look for any help from the STA-1, but he does get help from the GW Tiger P, who eliminates the T-69, and that is a massive pressure off of Immortality Prince now. And himself and the STA-1 are going to be able to just close in at their leisure on the enemy cap circle. And going to be hunting the SU-14-2. And that's always the best Top Gun medal when it happens accidentally. When you've been fighting tooth and nail, and all of a sudden you realise that you've achieved a Top Gun medal. Gets a great shot on the SU-14-2. Able to take him out. Picks up kill number 7. And almost 4,000 points of damage. So some absolutely brilliant positional play there, taking advantage of an opportunity when it was presented, driving home the nail into the coffin to pick up the victory there. So awesome replay from you, Immortality Prince. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, then please send that in to replay@screenreality.com. The link for that is in the description. What you can do is just attach the replay file itself or the link to the What Replay website to the email, and I can check that one out for you. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you found it useful, informative, you learned something, or you just enjoyed it, think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.